Now you know. All right, put your hands together for Daniel Martinez.
And he goes, morals? How you gonna talk dirty to a girl with morals, man? And I gave it some thought, and I set out to prove him wrong. So, ladies, picture this. You're in the club, you're having a good time with your friends, music playing, and I come up to you, right? And I go, hey, I just had to come up and say something, because I could just tell. I could just tell you, call your grandmother at least once or twice a month, just to see how she's doing. And of course that line works, so now we're back at my place, and she goes, before we do anything, you should know I'm kind of a dirty girl. I'm like, oh yeah, how so? And she goes, every time I check out a Target, I always round up to the nearest dollar to donate to charity. I'm like, oh my god, you dirty bitch. Dirty bitch. Who is this shit? Every friend group got the roles. You know, there's the funny friend, the ugly friend, the rich friend. And if you grow up in Florida, you always have one unintentionally racist friend. All right? We always know one that's like a little out of pocket sometimes. Like we were all having a fire because it's finally cold outside, like for 1 week out of the year. And we're all around the fire and we're thinking about like how cool it would be to send a beacon up to space to attract aliens, because they can't all be bad and we could probably learn a lot, and humanity, you know, needs a little like pep right now. But we just go like around the fire, we're like, hey, Randy, what do you think about aliens, man? And he's like, well, I think there's a few good apples, but they just mostly traffic fentanyl and take our jobs, so I think we should still build the wall. It's like, Randy, bro, we talking about ET aliens, bro, not Eduardo, all right? You need to chill out, bro. But because I matched with this girl, and she messages me like, hey, before we even start talking, you should know that I'm polyamorous. And I didn't know what that meant. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm Puerto Rican. Like, I'm not the racist friend in my group. Like, I don't judge or nothing. So she's like, okay, perfect. What are you doing tonight? And I'm like, shit, this online dating shit's mad easy. Like, what have I been doing this whole time? So I was like, hey, I'm kind of getting off work. I could just pick up 5 guys and we could just chill at your place. And she's like, oh my God, you would really do that? And I'm like, yeah, it's like on the way. Like, what do you want? And she's like, I want everything. I was like, okay, this bitch really loves some cheeseburgers or something, right? So this chick thought I was bringing over 5 guys, like 5 dudes, all right? She wanted just a whole different type of meat in her mouth. That was not a cheeseburger. So I had this one girl that I was on a date with, and I was like, you know, who's your all-time celebrity crush? You know, mine's Jennifer Aniston, because, you know, who can deny that, right? Yeah. And then she's like, honestly, I've always kind of want to fuck the Geico lizard. I'm like, bitch. I was like, the Geico lizard? I was like, what are you talking about, right? And I thought about leaving, but she was smoking hot. So I was like, oi, you know, you can say 50% of warm conscience and let me go down under later, you know? It's sad sometimes you see these girls in these like toxic relationships, right? They're like abusive, or the guy's like, you know, kind of deadbeat, or he's, you know, trying to do open mics to like look cool and shit, right? And but they always go like, you know, I can change him, you know, I see the good in him, right? But that's how I feel when I date big girls, you know? I tell my friends, I'm like, you know, I can change her, she's eating celery and playing basketball on the weekends, you know, I love her, man. So she picks up, and I'm like, you know, what do you think of the fit? You know what I mean? And she's like, wow, you look like a sexy, I'm like, okay, where's this going, you know? You look like a sexy Olive Garden waiter. And I was like, I think I didn't get pussy for 1 week, and I thought my right nut was gonna kill himself.